Here with women's tennis coach Jeff Halberg. Coach, season finale on Saturday against Macalester. Obviously bittersweet anytime that you talk about a final match in the season. It's kind of hard. But if you could kind of just go back and talk a little bit about the season as you head into the match against Macalester, kind of break down the highs and lows for the viewers.
Yeah, when Blake, Coach Duden, and I went into the season, it was a little bit more of an unknown. Obviously, the guys had a lot of people step out, but we knew there were some people we pretty much had a feeling for right away. With the ladies, we weren't as sure. I mean, there was a couple of unknowns coming into the team. Some people that, frankly, I don't think even knew how good they were. We didn't know exactly where we'd sit. And doubles teams, not a clue. I mean, we didn't know what we were going to do. We just had to kind of learn as we went. The one thing we knew from the beginning, though, because we saw it in the fall and we saw that carry through, is that they were a very unified and hardworking group of young ladies. They're just really have been on the same page with each other the whole season, and very respectful of each other, which is always important, of course, for any team. But in tennis, it can be tricky sometimes because, of course, you compete against each other for positions, whereas in most team sports, you don't actually do that to the same degree as kind of one-on-one kind of thing. So it can be tricky in tennis some years, but this year was just really easy. They were great with each other, very supportive of each other all the way through.
And obviously, one of those reasons would be your lone senior, who will be playing her final match at the Winona Tennis Center on Saturday, Grace Zachman. We talked off camera how she's kind of the mama of this team, being that lone senior. Talk a little bit about Grace and what she brings to this team.
Sure. The funny thing is, Grace. I don't think Grace necessarily looks at herself as a kind of an out there leader. Because she's a quiet person. She really is very unassuming, and she really is a kind of a live and let live kind of person. She's very easy to get along with, but it's one of her gifts is that she can get along with anyone, and she has a really good job of keeping that balance within the team so that people can come to her and talk to her when they're down and stuff like that. And I sometimes think she's very modest. I don't think Grace really realizes how important she is to us sometimes, because she doesn't talk about herself at all, ever. But yeah, I couldn't speak more highly of her. She is probably one of the most reliable and trustworthy people I could ever ask for. And she's always, never questions, what we do. We always just very supportive of the coaching staff and her teammates. And I'll miss her immensely. On top of the fact that I love riding the bus with her, because Grace can't sleep on buses. And since she's a very tall gal and has long legs, she always has to sit right behind me, so her legs are, kind of in that spot between the driver and the passenger. So she's always right behind me on the bus, and we've had so many conversations over the last 4 years, and I'm going to miss those conversations. I mean, she is so funny. So.
And one of the things too, you talked about the importance that she has to this team, and a lot of that importance is in that kind of that senior leadership, that go-to. But she's having an outstanding year on the court as well, and playing extremely well, and one of those players that you can count on. That's going to hopefully every match, but you can count on her every match to almost bring home a win for you.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the tricks, like you had mentioned at the start. We didn't know where we were going to be at the beginning of the year, and we didn't know who was going to play in what positions and things. And Grace, actually, she just came out of the blocks just flying, and she has by far played the best tennis of her career this season. Just amazing tennis. But if you look at her record, she's obviously taken more losses than wins, but a lot of it is just that our competition is spectacular, and she has taken on the #1 role in singles and doubles all year. But her play has been magnificent all year, and I'm so proud of her, because she knew. I warned her last season that she had been kind of a bit part in singles through her career, always starts in doubles, but singles was always kind of here and there, and she could have kind of take it or leave it. She was fine with that. But last year I warned her at the end of her junior year. I said, "You're playing singles all year. There's no question you're playing," and she was like, "Okay." And she clearly really got herself, kind of motivated and worked at it, because she came in playing the best singles I've ever seen from her. It's just a really great tennis. And she's one of those players too. She's very, she's tall and angular, but she's very smooth game. Just smokes her forehand. Great hands at the net. It's just a beautiful game to watch. So yeah, I'm just really pleased for her because it's been. I hope that she continues to play tennis throughout her life because she's one of those people that with the game she plays, it's just a fun game to play and hopefully it'll be a lifelong thing for her.
It's senior day on Saturday against Macalester at the Winona Tennis Center. Good luck, Coach.